almost want to get back to the question of heavy duty vehicles because I think it is an important part of this. You've proposed effectively to ban diesel powered buses and trucks, I believe by 2040. There's some pushback from that initially from utilities, from trucking companies, from other folks. How do you get all the folks involved on board and in the same direction on that? And as you mentioned, just logistically and practically, it's a different question than the cars that most of us drive every day. What are the different challenges, and how do you see getting past those?
Right. Well, the first challenge is the challenge of imagination. You would not believe how many people don't realize that there are large Class 8 trucks, that can pull full trailers that are zero emission. There are battery electric ones, there are hydrogen fuel cell ones, and then all through the medium and heavy duty sectors, there are delivery trucks, box trucks, all sorts of vehicles that are zero emission. So starting to get those on the road and having people see them is a big first step. And I've been to truck showcases and presentations where people just can't get over how quiet and smooth, and of course not smelly these trucks are. And I'll sort of remind folks that buses are a big piece of this, right? School buses, putting kids on buses that are quiet and zero emission instead of rumbling, diesel spewing vehicles is such an exciting opportunity. So getting people to see the future is the first step, and getting them to understand that future is here. It's coming. The second step is setting forth a clear regulatory path with clear timelines of how we're going to make this transition, working with the manufacturers and the customers so that we can help address the challenges that are inevitably going to come, and working closely with, as I mentioned earlier, the utilities, our energy planning agencies, our energy regulatory agencies, to ensure that the grid needs are there, that depot charging facilities are able to be constructed and energized and connected to the grid. And that we also think about how retail charging will work for some of those trucks that may need to not go back to depot every night, and may need to have medium and heavy duty public charging options. Some of the truck stop companies are really looking into this as a growth opportunity to start thinking about charging plazas at their locations and how they can add those amenities for their customers. So there's a huge amount of economic opportunity and energy around this transition. And the last thing I'll mention is, particularly in the heavy duty sector, the benefits to communities of making this transition cannot be overstated. We have people living near ports, living alongside freeways, living near warehouses that are impacted by diesel pollution every day. And getting rid of the dirtiest of the dirty vehicles and moving them to zero emission will fundamentally change lives. And we need to make this transition as soon as we conceivably can.